Good morning everyone. Thursday morning, and today I've managed to sneak out the house early enough to get down here and just chill, have a cup of coffee. Normally, well, I mean, it is the school holidays, so it's a bit different, but normally my wife will have me dressing one of the kids, so we'll have one kid each to get ready, only fair of course. But yeah, managed to get down here earlier. Today, John's got a doctor's appointment, so he's not turned up yet. He normally gets here about 7:25. Don't ask me why. I think he just wants to get out of the house as well. But yeah, I normally open the big roller shutter door here and just sit here in my deck chair with me coffee on the back of the kit car and just watch the world go by for 20 minutes before I get going. The Volvo over there, you're probably wondering why there's a Volvo V70R or whatever it is with the front end jacked up. I'll be going on more about that in the main channel, but that, if you remember, it's been going on about 3 years now. We did a Volvo engine, the 2.5 5-cylinder, put liners in it, all the rest of it, top hat liners, built it up. I think it was a 2.3, but it's just using water like it's going out of fashion. And when I mean using water, I mean he lives the other end of town, and by the time he's got in here, there's 2 litres of water in the sump. So there's something majorly wrong going on. It's a bit of a mystery. We've tested the oil cooler. He's been through sort of everything. He's pressurised the system, took the sump off. Can't see any water coming past the liners, although I don't see how you can have it coming past the liners. But it's one of those mysteries at the minute. So what he's done now is he's brought it in here, took the sump off it, and he's put like an additive in the water, which if it's leaking out of anywhere, it shows up sort of a luminous under a UV light. So that's what's going on with that, guys. But he sort of turned up yesterday, took the sump off, bless him. We can't even get to our ramp house. We'd have him in here, but unfortunately we can't. So he's done that, and he's going to come back when it's a little drier. But yeah, that's my average morning, guys. Getting in here, having a cup of tea, really, waking up. Takes me till about 10:30 to sort of wake up, really. I'm surprised the phone ain't rung yet. Also, I quite like sitting here, look, and just looking at that view down the kit car. I know it sounds sad, but that is a pretty view. With the nice Momo steering wheel, the digital dash. Don't you think that looks nice and clean? Got our little foot heater down here, look, which all does that. It is quite effective, actually, believe it or not, in an open top. Got our stickers down there. Oh, talking of stickers, we're having a little rebrand of our company logo. So I've gone for a more, sort of upper classy wording with our own Barham Engines sort of logo. And the reason for that really is because I said to, I don't know whether I said on this channel, but we've just bought a gazebo. It's a 6x3. Well, we've wanted to buy one for a while, but I know they're quite expensive for a decent one. If you go for the 50mm hex aluminium frame and what have you, it's with all the trimmings and the weights, etc. It is quite dear, but next year we want to do some shows, maybe do some events, and obviously for the track days and that, it's going to be ideal. So we've gone for the big one, the 6x3 metre, orange top, black sides, and we're going to have our branding on. So I'll just put here a little picture of what the company have come up with on the design. They're called Gala Tents. Really, really helpful, and they've promised us it for 100%. It's going to be here for next Wednesday. So, which means we can take it to Castle Combe next Thursday evening when we go. So yeah, really looking forward to getting that, guys. It's going to keep us, if we're not dry out on the track in this thing, we're going to be quite dry back in the paddock. So that's good news. But yeah, so far at the minute, guys, the kit car's all good, albeit a little bit of a paddling pool in there because it sits outside in the day, unfortunately. But so far so good on the diff. The diff all seems to be working pretty well. no leaks from the engine or anything like that. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to Castle Combe next week. Then we've got Thruxton on the 21st, which is a Monday. So I'm quite hoping this time, you know, even with the Castle Combe, if a few of you guys can get out there and come and visit us, really. Come and see us, come and see the new tent, come in and have a cup of coffee, bring your coffee in, bring a chair, more than welcome. So, this is what it looks like in the morning, guys. It's fairly stacked out in here, wouldn't you say? We're, I mean, most of this, I know you lot have a moan about me putting stuff on the floor and that, but where else would you like me to put it? Most of this stuff is done. We've got a little Morris Minor there that we've got to crack on with. Focus RS Mark 1, look. Bloody lovely car that is. I really want one of them. I wanted one when they were about £7 but now they're twice as much, sometimes 3 times as much. I'm certainly not having one. The only reason I would want one is a bit of an everydayer, but I think they rot out, don't they, them things. Plenty going on, guys. That's the Cosy over there, wrapped up, ready to go out. Well, guys, you all know how excited I am to be getting this beautiful S50 into our BMW. Absolutely fantastic engine, love it to bits. Just can't wait to hear one again, because I haven't heard one for a while until yesterday, guys. Now, we don't condone irresponsible behaviour in cars, but sometimes there is a time and a place, and yesterday seemed to be the time and the place for this gentleman. So there we go, guys. Totally irresponsible behaviour. Some may argue that going round in circles in S50 powered E30s is a complete waste of time, effort and perfectly good rear set of tyres. Having said that, the noise coming out the back of that BMW while the chap was going round in circles made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, which is what it's all about. And the art form of that particular donut was almost majestic. Well done, that man. Do you know what? I don't think I've even spoke about this, but I have had a few people ask me. Obviously, this is a bike engine, motorbike engine. It's an old Fireblade motor, so a 929, I want to say, not about 1998. So that engine sits in there sideways, and I've had a lot of people say, well, how does it work in a car, a bike engine, and what's it like to drive? Well, the engine is mounted sort of long ways, like that, and it's got on the back where the sprocket would go to drive the chain, which drives your back wheel, you've got a sort of purpose-built coupling, which has got the same spline on the inside, fits over there, bolts on, and that is got on the outside, fits to your prop shaft. So your prop shaft fixed to there with a UJ, goes down the tunnel, and then obviously connects to your diff down the back. I'll just show you down there. It's right down that hole, you can't really see it, but that's how that works, guys. So it's got 2 UJs in it and just a straight prop shaft. The gearbox, you've got obviously where your gear shifter is, you've got up the gears and down the gears. There's a linkage there that connects and goes back to this. So you've got forward is go down the gears, back is to go up the gears. So it's a sequential box, guys. I mean, a sequential box for a car, a proper sequential Quaife box or something, it's going to be 10 grand. So when you bear in mind, you can buy one of these engines second-hand off the net for about 600 quid. It comes with the gearbox. So if you had engine issues with this, or gearbox issues, or even clutch, you'd just buy a new engine, wouldn't you, and just stick it in there. The only problem is with a bike engine car is obviously you've got the extra weight of a car. Although it's quite light, it's less than half a ton. You've got a multi-pack, small diameter bike clutch in it, which is a bit finicky, very small, thin clutch plates. What you do when you put a bike engine in a car is they do an uprated spring kit, so you've got a tougher spring, just holds that extra weight really that it's trying to pull. But you basically, it's a bit snatchy, so it's a very fine sort of take up on the clutch. So what you've got to do if you're driving on the road, you've got to just don't rev the hell out of it when you pull away. You're just going to smoke the clutch. You've just got to almost do everything in slow motion. Don't be pressured by a matey behind who's trying to get a lick on. You just got to do everything slowly. But once you're going, in theory, I mean, on the track, sometimes I personally do sort of blip the throttle to go down the gears, but you don't need to use it up the gears. You just shut the power off. It has got a flat shifter, but we've never had it working, to be honest with you. Obviously on the newer bike engines, if you put a new one in, they got flat shifters and you can go down the gears without even using the clutch. So you can on this, if you just shut the throttle off and push down, you'll go down the gears without the clutch. But that's the beauty of it really. You don't need a clutch to go up the gears on it. So yeah, that is the beauty really of the bike engine car. You've got the sequential box up and down, very, very fast shifting. It's just a little bit finicky on the clutch. Obviously, where the bike engine's mounted, look, you've got the exhaust coming out the side. And generally, bike engines with the right silencer, they're really, really quiet, which is an advantage. It's like, I think this is about 93 decibels, this car, but it's all induction noise. That's what sounds good on it. And obviously the revs up to like 11 grand. So yeah, I mean, be honest with you, me and Isaac were discussing that this thing is probably 128 horsepower or something, or was when it was new. So you could probably do with a bit more power. I know you could always do with a bit more power, but this thing is pretty maxed out at 110, 120 mile an hour. So obviously it will tell when we go to Thruxton. I mean, this thing's going to be balls out. And it just sort of runs out of puff up the revs really when you get up to that speed. So we could probably, when we finish the BMW, I might start having a little look for a modern superbike engine like a ZX10 or something like that with 180 horsepower. Or, I mean, that would be perfect. You don't want something too mental, but you want something to just pull it along and keep up with, you know, most of the stuff on the track really, because it is a bit gutless, and that engine's getting a little bit old now. So that could be the next step, guys. Obviously, when we had the dash, when we bought the dash, it's a race tech dash or whatever they're called. It's a really good dash, and we've got all the wiring and what have you. So to stick a modern engine in it wouldn't be too bad. That dash and everything would work a lot better with a modern engine. You've got a lot more sensors and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the plan, guys. When we finish the Beamer, who knows, next project could be a bit of a more modern motor in this. It's going to run a bit nicer as well. Obviously, because we've got the Quaife ATB diff and all that in there, the car will be pretty much finished off then. You know, we seem to, touch wood, this cage that we put in, obviously we've done 3 or 4 track days now, and we keep the back open. I know it's a bit ugly with this open, but at least we can just have a look in the back and inspect all the welds and etc. Because this entire back end is a bit of just a separate subframe really, which holds the diff, and it's under quite a lot of load, I suppose. So we just check it all, and all that gusseting and the cage seems to be doing its job, guys. Don't see any cracks or anything like that, or any failed welds. So touch wood, as a track car, we've got this thing pretty sorted now, and I absolutely love it, to be honest. So look out for the new project, maybe in the winter, something like that. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button and the notification bell, and we will see you in another one. Thank you.